You might not know that the river Euphrates is drying up. That's a big deal for the people living in Iraq, because the Euphrates River has, ever since the dawn of history, been a main source of water. And now it is drying up due to three things, as I understand it. Number one, the fact that Turkey, where the Euphrates River starts, has dammed up the river, and then the river goes through Syria, and Syria has also put a dam in the river, all of which to supply water needs for Turkey and for Syria. And they're letting a little bit of water through for the benefit of the Iraqis, but the problem is Turkey and Syria need so much water that there's practically nothing left for Iraq. Persons who know biblical prophecy, particularly the book of Revelation, tells us that at the end of time, the Euphrates River will be dried up. The purpose of drying up the Euphrates River is so that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. What nations are east of the Euphrates? To answer that, we've got to look at what comes next. The devil and the Antichrist and false prophet gather these nations together at a place called Armageddon. Armageddon is where many battles have already been fought, but the writer of the book of Revelation said the last battle of our present age would be fought there. Who are the possible kingdoms of the east? Iran is there, and Iran's hatred of Israel is very, very well known. Iran and Afghanistan and China and North Korea. Now again, North Korea's hatred of Israel is documented and well known. Iran and North Korea have some agreements. Again, India is there also, along with Pakistan and Afghanistan. I don't know how many of these nations will be involved, and of course there's Vietnam and those nations that make up Southeast Asia, including Indonesia. But I don't know how many of those will have a quarrel with Israel at the end of time. Nevertheless, some kings from the east will come with an army, 200 million strong, and they will plan to wipe Israel off the face of the earth. It will not work, because at this point Christ will come down from heaven and fight the battle himself, and the enemies of Israel will be defeated. The question is the drying up of the Euphrates River a fulfillment of Bible prophecy? After all, the Bible does say that the Euphrates River will be dried up. And right now the Euphrates River is drying up. But here is one barrier that gets in the way of the drying up of the present drying up the Euphrates being a fulfillment of Bible prophecy. The Euphrates River in the book of Revelation dries up when the sixth angel sounds his trumpet. Before the sixth angel sounds his trumpet, there has to be the first 5 trumpets, and before the first 5 trumpets there has to be 7 seals broken. That means that the drying up of the Euphrates River, along with the Battle of Armageddon, occurs very, very late in the tribulation, just like it occurs late in the book of Revelation. It appears to me that the present drying up of the Euphrates River is a precursor perhaps, but not the real event. In other words, not the actual fulfillment of what John wrote while he was on the Isle of Patmos receiving his visions. Now this is what may fool a lot of folk, because I was just watching a YouTube video last night which said that the drying up of the Euphrates River is a fulfillment of prophecy, and suggested that the gathering together of the nations at Armageddon is the next prophetic event. To me, there is a whole lot of prophecy that has to be fulfilled before the Battle of Armageddon. Therefore, I don't think the present drying up of the Euphrates is the fulfillment of prophecy. Also, the book of Revelation says that the Euphrates River dries up when the sixth angel sounds his trumpet, and then he strikes or he smites the river Euphrates. Well, it doesn't say that the river Euphrates dries up because of the damming of the river by Turkey and Syria. And it doesn't say it dries up because of a big population increase, which creates a big demand for the water from the river, and it dries up for that. It makes it sound like that the smiting of the river Euphrates is a divine judgment, a supernatural occurrence, something that was not supposed to happen, but that does happen. It doesn't say either that the drying up of the river will be as a result of a lack of rainfall, which, by the way, is going on in the Middle East right now. No, it says that an angel smites the river, and the drying up appears to be instantaneous. This event might be one of the things that is going to fool a lot of people about end-time prophecy. When something seems to be happening, that seems to be a fulfillment, but isn't, and then the events that are supposed to follow do not occur, then it will cause many people to turn away, to backslide, to disbelieve. And in fact, the prophet Ezekiel foretold this when he said, the years pass and every vision fails. Or another way of putting that is, the years pass and it makes a liar out of every prophet. We're going to see people uttering prophecies that are not fulfilled, and it's going to cause a lot of people to stumble and fall. So don't expect the Battle of Armageddon to occur instantly or right away. Now, that's not to say that there won't be wars. There's been constant war now around this world for over 100 years, and it seems like there's no end in sight, and there's a constant threat of war. Yes, there will be wars, there will be plagues, but the real plague that comes along that carries away a third of mankind, that is something that's to happen in the future, and it will happen in the sequence that God said it would.